Thus I declare once more. Oh, God. I'll slice you into tiny pieces and feed you to the pigs. Our battlefield is no place for that piece of shit God. I think it's time we took over God's work. We soldiers will take God's place. Put the arrogant ass God out of a job. All right, troops. It is time for war.
Little Prince, the sad truth is that justice is just an illusion, a fairy tale for children. There is no light path that always leads to good, nor a dark path that leads to evil. To believe that, to see the world in black and white, is missing half the picture. All that matters are the choices we make, especially the hard ones. Gentlemen, Operation Bait Van Winkle is a resounding success. Alucard is now exactly where we need him to be, so we can move forward with our little surprise. However, before we begin our next phase, I would like to take some time to address a rumor floating around the fleet. Some of you have come to believe that I like war. I wish to dash these rumors. I do not like war. I love war. Through my life, I have discovered so many forms of war. You get up in the morning, you get into your shitty car, and you see a rich CEO who works half as hard as you do drive down the street in his Porsche. Class war. You make it to work, and you find out that the annual drug test is today, and you just so happen to take a puff of your one-hitter a couple nights ago before dinner with your wife's awful parents. Drug war. But then you find out that the only ones being called in for testing are your black and Hispanic co-workers. Race war. Then you try to post about it on your Facebook, but then all your friends start arguing about what's right and what's wrong. Flame war. You finally get home and you decide to relax by watching a program about who gets the box, what's in the box, how much is what's in the box worth. Storage wars. What I am telling you, my army of 1,000 vampires, is that I am a purveyor of war. And with your help over the years, we are now at the precipice of our true goal. You see, I want a simple war. No class wars, no drug wars, no race wars, no flame wars, and certainly no cold wars. Blue bot for 40 years. What I want is a war that only we can bring. A true war. A German war. The sequel you've all been waiting for. I want World War III! A long time ago, Nonali, Suzaku, and I talked about something. We wondered what happiness would look like if we could give it a physical form. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Suzaku that said that the shape of happiness might resemble glass. His reasoning made sense. He said that even though you don't usually notice it, it's still definitely there. You merely have to change your point of view slightly, and then that glass will sparkle when it reflects the light. I doubt anything else could argue its own existence more eloquently.
You were so handsome in your madness, gorgeous in your murderous rage. I loved you. But if you're reverting to a stinking hypocrite who can't save anyone, then I'll save you myself.
People fear death because they don't understand it, and we're afraid of strangers because we don't know them. Not being able to understand the one you love is the worst fear of all.
We humans are irresponsible and sneaky. They'd rather put the blame on others and let them suffer.
Everyone's fighting for their own kind of freedom. It seems small, but in their hearts, nothing is more important. With such hopes, I won't have enough time for revenge or fear, right?
Did you know this church is in the exact center of the city? The elders decreed it so that everyone could be equally close to God. I like that. The geometry of belief. I'm sorry. I know you mean well. You just didn't think it through. You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. How is humanity saved if it's not allowed to evolve? With these puppets, there's only one path to peace. Your extinction. Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. People create... smaller people? Children. I lost the word there. Children. Designed to supplant them. To help them end. There were over a dozen extinction-level events before even the dinosaurs got theirs. When the Earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up. We have to evolve. There's no room for the weak. Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. People create... smaller people... children. I lost the word there. Children. Designed to supplant them. To help them end.
All men are not created equal. Some are born swifter of foot, some with greater beauty. Some are born into poverty, and others are born sick and feeble, both in birth and in upbringing. In sheer scope of ability, every human is inherently different. Yes, that is why people discriminate against one another. Which is why there is struggle, competition, in the unfaltering march of progress. Inequality is not wrong. Equality is. What of the EU, who made equality a right? Rabble politics by a popularity contest. The Chinese Federation with its equal distribution of wealth. A nation of lazy dullards. But not our beloved Britania. We fight. We compete. Evolution is continuous. Britania alone moves forward, advancing steadily into the future. Even the death of my son Clovis demonstrates Britannia's unswerving commitment to progress. We will fight on. We shall struggle, compete, plunder, and dominate. And in the end, the future shall be ours. All hail Britannia!
Too late for what? The Republic to fall? It already has, and you just can't see it. There is no justice, no law, no order, except for the one that will replace it. The time of the Jedi has passed. They cannot defeat Sidious, but together, you and I can. My hatred kept my spirit intact, even though my body was not. As I was lost and became a rabid animal. And such is how you found me, brother. Discarded, forgotten. I have missed so much. The force feels out of balance. You may have forgotten me, but I will never forget you. You cannot imagine the depths I would go to stay alive, fueled by my singular hatred for you. It was I who languished for years, thinking of nothing but you, nothing but this moment, and now the perfect tool for my vengeance is in front of us. I never planned on killing you, but I will make you share my pain, Kenobi. Lost. I am lost. And yet, I can feel his presence so close, so close. I can see him in my mind's eye. Kenobi. Kenobi! Will it end here? Like this? No, no! I must draw Kenobi out. pimped his noble heart. But how? How? I know.